My girlfriend rolled her eyes and said, "You're not my father. I don't need a curfew. After coming home at dawn." I said, "I know." The next night, the door was deadbolted with a note taped to it. What the note said: 31 male, am sitting in my apartment right now, listening to the increasingly frantic knocking that started about 20 minutes ago. My phone's on silent, lighting up like a Christmas tree. Time to type this out while it's fresh. My girlfriend Megan, 28, and I have been together for 2 years, living together for the last 8 months. When she moved in, it felt right. We talked about boundaries, respect, shared responsibilities, adult stuff. She'd been living with roommates before, party girls who treated their place like a 24/7 nightclub. Said she was ready for something more mature. First few months were great. Quiet nights in, cooking together, building something real. Then about 2 months ago, her old roommate Tessa started going through a breakup. Suddenly Megan was needed for emergency girls' nights. Fine, we all need friends during tough times. But emergency nights became regular nights. Twice a week became 4. Coming home at midnight became 2 a.m., became 4 a.m., became not coming home at all sometimes. Last weekend was the breaking point. Friday night, she left around 9 p.m. "Megan, Tessa needs me tonight. Don't wait up." "When will you be back?" "Not sure. Late probably." Didn't hear from her all night. No texts, calls going straight to voicemail. Finally dragged myself to bed around 3 a.m., worried sick. Woke up at 6:30 to the sound of keys fumbling at the door. She stumbled in, shoes in hand, makeup smeared. Me, "Where were you? I was worried." Megan, laughing, "God, you sound like my dad." Me, "I texted you 5 times, called twice. Phone died, chill." Saw her phone light up on the counter, definitely not dead. Me, "Look, I'm not trying to control you, but living together means basic respect. A text saying you're safe, some idea when you'll be home." That's when she said it. Rolled her eyes so hard I'm surprised they didn't fall out. "Megan, you're not my father. I don't need a curfew. I'm a grown woman." Me, "I know." She seemed surprised I didn't argue more. Kissed my cheek, mumbled something about needing sleep, and passed out until 2 p.m. Spent Saturday thinking. She was right about one thing. I'm not her father. I'm her landlord. See, this apartment? It's mine. Bought it 3 years ago when the market dipped. Her name's not on the lease, the mortgage, nothing. She sends me $800 a month for her half, which honestly doesn't even cover a third of my actual costs, but I wanted to be fair. Saturday night, she went out again. Didn't even tell me this time, just got dressed up and left while I was in the shower. Found a note, with Tessa. "Don't be weird about it." That's when I made my decision. Sunday morning, while she was still passed out, came home around 5 a.m. I went to the hardware store, bought a deadbolt, the kind that only locks from the inside, installed it myself, YouTube University for the win. Also got one of those chain locks for extra security. Sunday night, she left again around 8 p.m. Crop top, mini skirt, the works. Megan, going out with the girls. Me, have fun. Soon as her Uber pulled away, I executed the plan. 1, deadbolted the door from inside. 2, added the chain lock for good measure. 3, typed up a note and taped it to the outside of the door. 4, grabbed my overnight bag, already packed. 5, went out the back entrance. 6, drove to my buddy Connor's place. The note said, "Megan, you're absolutely right. I'm not your father and you don't need a curfew. However, I am your landlord, and I do need a tenant who respects reasonable boundaries. Your belongings will be available for pickup Monday between 2 to 4 p.m. Text me to confirm the time, the guy who's not your father." Currently at Connor's, watching my phone explode. The knocking started about 4:30 a.m. based on my Ring camera footage. She tried her key, realized the deadbolt was engaged, saw the note. The progression was almost poetic. Confusion, checking she had the right door, reading the note multiple times, angry knocking, angry texts, panicked calls, really angry texts, crying on my doorstep, calling friends. It's now 6 a.m. and she's apparently sitting against my door, alternating between sobbing and rage texting. Update 1. Monday afternoon. Holy hell, the entitlement came out in full force. So after she spent 2 hours on my doorstep, yeah, I watched it all on my Ring camera, she finally called an Uber back to Tessa's. That's when the real campaign started. First, the text barrage. I'll summarize because there were literally 127 messages. "This is illegal. You can't just kick me out. I live there. Open the door right now. I'm calling the police. You're abusive. This is because I wouldn't sleep with you last week, isn't it? I'll sue you. My dad's a lawyer. He's an accountant. You can't lock me out of my home. Then came the social media assault. She posted on everything. When your abusive boyfriend illegally evicts you because you have friends. Domestic abuse, need help, homeless. Tagged me in it too. Within an hour, her squad was all over it. Tessa, Brittany, Jade, the whole crew. Comment, toxic masculinity, controlling behavior. Call the police queen, sue him for everything. But here's where she messed up. My ex from college, Lauren, is a property lawyer now. Still friendly, grab coffee sometimes. She saw the post and DM'd me. Lauren, saw Megan's post? Need legal advice? Me, is what I did illegal? Is her name on the lease? Me, no, she just lives there. Pays me some money monthly. In writing? Me, nope. Just Venmos me. She's a month-to-month tenant at best, a guest at worst. You need to give proper notice for eviction in most places, but did you change the locks? Nope. Just deadbolted from inside and left through back exit. Her key still works. LOL, that's not eviction. That's just not letting her in at 4 a.m. Technically gray area, but she'd have a hard time proving residency without paperwork. Want me to respond to her post? Nah, I'm good. Monday at 1:45 p.m., she showed up for the pickup window, but not alone. She brought Tessa, Jade, and some dude I'd never seen before, probably meant to intimidate me. Plus her mom Karen, yeah really, on FaceTime. I met them outside with her stuff already in boxes by the door. Didn't let anyone in. Megan, this is ridiculous. Let me in my apartment. It's not your apartment. Never was. Karen, young man, this is highly inappropriate. You can't just throw my daughter out. Me, I'm not throwing her out. I'm choosing not to renew our informal arrangement. Mystery dude stepped forward. Bro, just let her get her stuff, and we can talk about this like adults. Her stuff is right here. All packed. Megan, you went through my things? I packed what was yours. Left anything questionable in the boxes for you to sort. This is probably illegal. We should call the cops. Please do. I'll show them the lease with only my name, the mortgage in only my name, and explain how she has no documentation proving residency. They backed down on that threat real quick, but then Megan played what she thought was her ace. Megan, I've been paying rent. I have proof. Me, you've been contributing to household expenses as my girlfriend. Never signed anything. Those Venmo notes saying for food and stuff don't exactly scream tenant rights. This was true. She'd always been weird about putting rent in the notes, said it felt too formal. Always wrote random stuff like for groceries or utilities and things. Worked in my favor now. Mystery dude started loading boxes while Megan spiraled. Megan, where am I supposed to go? Not my father, not my problem. Megan, I can't believe you're doing this over me going out. I'm doing this because you said you don't need to respect basic boundaries. You were right, you don't, in your own place. Update 2, Wednesday. The extinction burst was magnificent. After Monday's pickup, I thought it was over. Changed my door code, smart lock for the win, figured she'd crash with Tessa and move on. Nope. Tuesday morning, 7 a.m., I'm getting ready for work when I hear commotion outside. Look out the window, there's a cop car. Megan's there with 2 officers gesturing wildly at my building. I went down to meet them, already knowing what this was about. Officer, this young lady says she's been illegally evicted from this residence. I see. Officer, I own this apartment. Here's the deed on my phone. She's never been on any lease or legal document. Ma'am, do you have any proof of residency? Lease? Mail with this address? I changed my address to here. Checked the system. When? Like, last month? She'd been living there 8 months and only changed her address last month. Even the cops looked skeptical. Me, she was a guest who stayed over frequently. We broke up. I asked her to leave. Officer 2, do you have any documentation of a landlord-tenant relationship? Megan showed them the Venmo payments. The cops literally zoomed in on the notes. Officer, these say pizza money and for wine and Netflix. This isn't rent. But I lived there. Ma'am, staying somewhere doesn't automatically give you tenant rights. Without documentation, this is a civil matter at best. They left. Megan stomped off screaming about lawyers. But Tuesday afternoon is when she went nuclear. I got a call from my building management. Someone had reported suspicious activity in my unit, said they saw multiple people coming and going at all hours, and suspected I was running an Airbnb illegally. Building manager, we need to investigate this complaint. Sure, here's my ring footage from the last month, showing it's just me and my now ex-girlfriend. Also, here's her social media showing she's trying to get back at me. Building manager reviewed everything, saw it was BS, and actually gave Emmy a heads up. Just so you know, she also tried to convince the front desk she still lived here. We had to ban her from the property. Tuesday night, it escalated. She created a TikTok, a whole-ass TikTok about being homeless because my ex is a controlling narcissist. Went mini viral in our city, 50K views overnight. But the comments weren't what she expected. Girl, why didn't you have your name on anything after 8 months? No lease? No mail? Sounds like you were a guest who overstayed. Maybe don't come home at 5 a.m. if you want housing security. Team landlord on this one, bah. She dirty deleted it by Wednesday morning. Then came the final boss move. Wednesday afternoon I get a text from an unknown number. This is Thomas Garrett, attorney at law. I represent Miss Megan Walsh in the matter of her illegal eviction. Please contact me immediately to discuss resolution. I forwarded it to Lauren, property lawyer X. She called me laughing. Lauren, I know Tom Garrett. He's a personal injury lawyer who advertises on bus stops. Did a quick search. He's never handled a housing case in his life. Me, should I respond? I'll handle it. Pro bono, this'll be fun. She sent a beautiful response outlining, no landlord-tenant relationship existed. No lease, no documentation, no formal agreement. Megan was a licensee at best, whose license was revoked. The apartment is my separate property. Any further harassment would result in a restraining order. Within 2 hours, unknown number texts. Upon review, we will not be pursuing this matter. Megan's mom called me directly after that. Different tone entirely. Karen, David, I just found out the whole story. Megan told me you two had a lease together. We didn't. I see that now. She also failed to mention the coming home at dawn issue. I'm sorry. She's staying with me now, and we're going to have some serious conversations about responsibility. First reasonable thing anyone in that family had said. Update 3, Friday. Just when I thought it was dying down, Megan pulled the ultimate entitled move. Thursday was quiet. Too quiet. Should have known she was planning something. Friday morning I wake up to 47 missed calls. Not from Megan, from my credit card company. Sir, we're calling about unusual activity on your account. Did you authorize a $3,200 purchase at luxhandbags.com? My blood went cold. Check my credit card app. 5 luxury purchases in the last 12 hours. Designer bags, shoes, jewelry, almost $8,000 total. That's when it hit me. She'd had my credit card info saved on her laptop for when she'd order food for us. Never removed it. Called the fraud department, had everything frozen and disputed. Then texted her. Me, using my credit card is fraud. Return everything or I'm filing a police report. Megan, I don't know what you're talking about. Me, the orders went to Tessa's address, where you're staying. Prove it was me. Okay, filed the police report. Gave them the screenshots of her, basically admitting it. The shipping addresses, the timeline, orders started right after her fake lawyer backed down. But here's the beautiful part. Tessa's apartment complex has package lockers with cameras. My credit card company's fraud department subpoenaed the footage as part of their investigation. Got a call from the detective Friday afternoon. Sir, we have footage of Miss Walsh collecting multiple packages from the delivery locker. We also have her on camera opening them in the lobby and taking photos with the merchandise. She'd been flexing her fraud purchases on Instagram. Private account, but Brittany, one of her squad who apparently has morals, sent me screenshots. Megan posing with gifts from a new friend who appreciates me. Detective, this is felony fraud over $5,000. We'll be arresting Ms. Walsh today. 2 hours later, Megan calls from the police station. Megan, I need you to drop the charges. I need you to respect boundaries. Guess we're both disappointed. This is insane over some stupid purchases. I was gonna pay you back. When? After you got a lease? Oh wait. This will ruin my life. I'll have a record. Should have thought about that before committing credit card fraud. You're seriously going to let me go to jail over this? I'm seriously going to let you face consequences for your actions. Novel concept, I know. Her mom called next, begging, then Tessa, then random numbers I'm assuming were other friends, all blocked. But the best part? Remember her TikTok that went mini viral? Someone found it and made a response video with her mugshot. POV, you commit fraud because your ex asked you to text when you'll be home. 2.3 million views. Final update, 2 weeks later. The conclusion to this saga is chef's kiss perfect. So Megan got charged with felony fraud. Her parents hired a decent lawyer who got it pleaded down to a misdemeanor with restitution and probation. She had to pay back the $8,000. Her parents fronted it, plus court fees. But the real fallout came from unexpected places. Remember how she was staying with Tessa? Well, Tessa's landlord saw the arrest report. Small community, word travels. Turns out Tessa's lease has a clause about no additional occupants for more than 7 consecutive days without approval, and something about criminal activity being grounds for eviction. Tessa kicked Megan out to save her own apartment. Megan tried Brittany next. Brittany's roommate said absolutely not. Who wants to live with someone who commits credit card fraud when upset? Jade leaves with her boyfriend who said hell no. She ended up back with her parents in their suburb, 45 minutes away. But it gets better. Megan worked at this trendy marketing firm downtown. Image is everything there. Her boss found out about the arrest. Remember the viral TikTok response? Yeah, her coworkers saw it. They didn't fire her outright, but suddenly she was not a good fit for client-facing roles. Moved to data entry, which she quit after 3 days. But here's the part that still makes me laugh. Last week I'm at the grocery store and run into Marcus, this guy from our friend group who'd always had a thing for Megan. He stops me and goes, "Marcus, dude, I'm sorry about everything that went down." Thanks, man. It is what it is. Yeah, I actually asked her out last month and she said she wasn't ready to date because she was focusing on her independence. Me, when last month? Like the week before you kicked her out. So while we were living together? You guys were still together? She said you'd been broken up for months, but she was crashing there temporarily because of lease issues with her old place. The lies, man. The layers of lies. Current status? She's living with her parents at 28, which she used to mock other people for. Lost her friend group when they realized she'd been lying to everyone. Has a criminal record that shows up on background checks. Can't get approved for apartments because of said record. Working retail at a mall near her parents' house. Still posts about toxic exes but has like 12 followers now. Meanwhile, I repainted the apartment and it's never looked better. Started dating this sweet woman from my rock climbing gym who texts when she'll be late. Got a promotion at work. Turns out being well rested improves performance. Learned to install deadbolts and security cameras like a pro. Have a great story for parties. The other night, Connor and I were having beers and he asked if I felt bad about how everything went down. She said I wasn't her father and didn't need a curfew. She was right, I'm not her father. I don't have to house someone who doesn't respect basic boundaries. What was even on the note, you never said. Oh, just that she was right about me not being her father. I'm her landlord and her stuff would be available for pickup. That's it? Sometimes the simplest messages hit the hardest. Last I heard through the grapevine, she tells people I manipulated the system to make her homeless. Not that she refused basic communication. Mocked reasonable requests, committed credit card fraud, lied to everyone about our relationship status, expected to live rent-free with zero responsibilities. Accountability is kryptonite to people like Megan. The funniest part? Her Instagram bio used to say, independent woman. Now it says, everything happens for a reason. Yeah, the reason is consequences, babe. Thanks for reading this whole saga. Remember, folks, you're not required to set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. And if someone shows you they don't respect you or your home, believe them the first time. Also, always use proper lease agreements. And cameras, lots of cameras.